Howdy folks, it's Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we are doing leg 3 of the Vancouver Island bus trip. One leg per video except for the final two, so I assume you've seen the first two already, so here we go, leg 3. Alrighty, come down here, repair and refuel, and so far we've really been enjoying this bus trip. It's been quite a pleasant surprise, and I'm very excited about it, so I can't wait to continue. And we've been keeping track of our fuel management by switching the fuel tanks when necessary. The weird thing though has been the plane kind of wants to nose up, nose down and stuff on its own. The first two legs anyway. I had some issues where it wasn't even able to nose down at all. Very strange. Hopefully everything is okay for this one. We will see. Well, there's no autopilot, so we've been hand flying everything. I haven't been able to get the forcing autopilot for the keyboard on this one like you can some aircraft. But that's okay. So here we go. Where do they put us? End of the runway, which is fantastic. We just came into Port Hardy, and the town is over there. And Duval Island, if you remember us talking about that. And then I told my story about sailboating, I believe. And we landed on this runway here. But for some reason, they put it on this runway. So here we go. We got to read about what we're talking about. We will just continue following the purple GPS line because it's there. Why not? We've navigated in every different possible way previously, so we have nothing to prove to anybody. We'll just enjoy the sights of this trip with the navigation given to us. Alrighty, here we go. Hanson Island, head into Queen Charlotte Strait, and sight Malcolm Island. Fly along the southern edge of Malcolm Island, and pass over a Cormorant Channel Marine Provincial Park, and then reach Hanson Island. So a couple islands and a channel, and then an island. 11 minutes out, we'll use the timer for the GPS to tell us when it's the right island, and then we'll read about what's next after. So here we go, put that away. Parking brake is on, off, I don't know what it is, but let's goose it here, hold the brake a minute and let go. And parking brake looks like it's off because we're rolling pretty quickly here. Our very first leg, if you remember, we actually took off with the parking brake on. Quite impressive if you ask me. There we go, brakes to stop the wheels, gear coming in, flaps coming in, and the nose is cooperating today a little bit. Impressive. We will head out over here before we turn to the right. And I was going to say, we'll hand fly for a little bit before we gauge autopilot, but there's no autopilot, so we're going to hand fly for 48 minutes or whatever it says it is. 46 minutes, all on our own. It's a little exhausting, but that's okay. Because I can't give you sightseeing views outside with the drone, we do more cockpit views and I talk more, which is fine, I think. Anyway, I know co-pilot, we don't need the back on track, especially when you give us the route. Anywho, looking out there, looking beautiful. Oop, another lone tree. In mainland Canada, the Canadian Rockies. Very nice. Alright, let's stay on task here. And we'll get to about 2,500 feet or so. And then, we'll keep it at that. It looked really good from 2,500 feet on the previous leg. So that's what we'll aim for. And the nose is starting to go up again. Come on. Let's try to use the drone just for a second here, just to maybe get a screenshot. Nope, it's turning. Okay. As I say in every bus trip, my drone controls are on my yoke and pedals, which is fine with autopilot, because then I can use autopilot and then look around. But when you're hand flying, until the aircraft is completely perfectly stable, which this aircraft never is, you can't use the drone. Or I can't use the drone. Your mileage might vary. Alright, 2,500 feet. Let's try to level off if we can. I blew right through because I was looking out the window. And we'll stay on the purple line. And in 11 minutes or so, 12 minutes, we will look for Hardy Boy Island, Hanson Island. We're still climbing, but that's because this aircraft wants to with this weird nose thing. Although, it hasn't nosed up and stayed there on its own in this leg yet. The first two legs, if you notice, if you remember, it would nose straight up, and no matter what I did with my yoke, it would not respond until later. So it's very strange. But we managed. And so far, we haven't had any issues yet. So we'll settle in wherever the airplane is happy so we don't have to fight it. Oh, this is a little higher than I want it to be, but that's okay. Looking outside here as we climb to 3,000 feet. All I didn't want to, but the nose on this thing is so weird. I kind of let it do what it wants. The airport is behind us. And looking good. Bunch of islands, but we're looking for Hansen Island in 8 minutes. Who all of you remember the band Hansen from the 90s? They're kind of one-hit wonders for the public eye, but those of us in music professionally know them as a very proficient band, and they're in very high demand for studio work and backing on tours. You know, you have like people tour with people. So they're still very, very relevant behind the scenes. Well, there's like a resort down there. Although in the public eye, people forgot about them pretty much. But yeah, a lot of your favorite records where they actually use live musicians instead of like computer stuff. They're probably on a lot of them, and they're doing a lot of work right now. They're very busy. So there you go. There's your little story about Hansen. And look at all these wonderful airports we get to try to spot. There's that one there. There's another one up there apparently. That's so beautiful looking across to mainland Canada. Look at that. Canadian Rockies in the background. I know I keep bringing that up, but I want to see where we are. There you go. Look at these mountains back here. We can see from where we are. That's what those peaks are way back there. Isn't that insane? That's just crazy. But believe it, because that's what we're looking at. There's the other airport. Oh, that was the first airport. Yeah, there's another airport right in front of us somewhere over here, which we're not landing at. Hope it's under our nose now. I'm just looking at this inlet here. There's the airport there, I think, on top of the hill. Yep. That's pretty cool. Ooh, look at that. There's like a town. Oh man, that's awesome. That is so cool. Look at that. And we're about to fly over the island with the airport and some resorts, it looks like. So you could probably land there and then ferry to these other islands and little towns and things, I would think. I don't know if that's Hardy Island though, or Hansen Island, sorry. We'll tell if the GPS runs out. No, 4 minutes yet to Hansen Island. So Hansen Island is up here yet. So I don't know what island that is. Maybe this one's Hansen Island? I don't know. We're going to find out together in a minute though. Just a little bit more gazing. Well, we got the mountains from the central part that we already have gone over. We came through here, went out to the west. And now we're coming back along the east, but we've been here already. We've already gone through that, so that's pretty cool. More islands and things. And then looking at the time, this is definitely Hansen Island, so my guess was correct. My guess was correct. Sometimes I do know what I'm doing, I guess. Not to mention this is a perfect altitude for this. 3,000 feet. We're just below the train along the shore while we fly over the mountains, although we are picking up quite a bit of train turbulence from something below us. But that's okay, I don't mind too much. It's not that bad. It's not making me as nauseous. Oh, and there's our Port Hardy Airport. Back there. Lone Hill there. And Hansen Island. So let's put the toys away. And let's read about what's next. The GPS will turn us in a moment. Not really. Pretty much straight. Johnstone Strait from Hansen Island, which is right here. Follow the coastline, which is right here, into Johnstone Strait, which is a summer home to a large group of orca whales. I'm assuming the strait is right here in front of us, although we'll navigate for 6 minutes to get there, but I'm sure that's what we're looking at. Too bad there won't be orca in the sim. That'd be cool if they did fauna like that, but there won't be, so we're going to continue ahead through the strait before we read about the next island. But first, we need to enjoy Hansen Island right here, and then we'll follow the strait, although it's a little curvy to the left. And there goes the nose again, all on its own. I don't understand. It just shot straight up, didn't touch anything. Super weird. Oh well, I'm back in control this time, where before it took more to get in control. But anyway, we're still headed towards the strait. We haven't made much progress other than the nose shooting for the stars. I guess it took aim for the stars a little too literally, but anyway, we're still going towards the strait. Oh, that's a cool little valley there. There's a cool lake up in the hills. It was obviously part of more at a different time. There's a road down there too. A minute or so left before we're at the part of the strait they want, so let's read about the next thing. So here's Johnstone Strait, and then we're going to look for Hardwick Island 10 minutes from now. Follow the narrow Johnstone Strait, so we get to see the awesome coastline to Hardwick Island, which has its industrial roots and logging. So it'll be interesting to see how that's represented. So it'll have us turn ever so slightly to the left, and then in 10 minutes we'll look for Hardwick Island. Put that away. Oh, the nose wants to slowly climb again. That's okay. After that weird nose up and dive, I guess we settled in at 2,700 feet, and we'll stay there, and we'll keep gazing at the coastline. That's cool there, as we head towards Hardwick Island. Gazing at mountains along the shore is going to end up being a plains area, or maybe it's just a huge valley. Looking at the map down here, I guess it's just a huge valley. There's some rivers running through it, so that'll be cool to see when we get there. And Hardwick Island, I'm guessing, is right here in front of us, but we'll find out when we get there as well. Otherwise, we're just gazing at the train, looking pretty cool. Back towards the Canadian Rockies. Very beautiful. And there's the valley with the two rivers, one on each side. Pretty cool how it's carved out. And then it makes its way to the main water, obviously. And then the really tall mountains are hidden behind the scenes. I don't know if we're going to go back to the tallest mountains. I think that was only the very first lake. But we'll find out soon enough. We'll enjoy this lake as we go here. Still heading towards, not Pickwick Island, Hardwick Island. 6 minutes out yet, so yeah, I'm guessing it's that one right there, which is like right here. I'm guessing. Of course I could be wrong, but that's my guess. And we'll keep gazing, so let's use their circle cam since we can't use a drone. Actually, we are stable enough, we might be using the drone. Yeah, this could work. Let's take some screenshots while we're at it here. Yeah, so far so good. That could work. Ooh, look at all the roads going up to that mountain. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Let's get our airplane back in control here. There we go. And, Hardwick Island. Still waiting for it. And we have a nose up randomly again. And it won't go down. My yoke is all the way forward. Come on. There. Whoop. Okay, see. It just decides randomly when it wants to go down. And then it goes all the way down. So now we have to regain control of our aircraft again. But that's okay. Hardwick Island directly in front of us. What were we at? Like 2,700, I think. Something like that. Anyway, we're passing through this valley back into the mountainous shoreline, which I've really been enjoying a lot. I'm not growing tired of it at all. Even though it's been like between the last leg and this leg, it's been like 45 minutes of it, and it is not boring. I do not mind looking at that. Whoop, there it goes up again. Oh no, 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 no. See, my yoke goes all the way forward. Okay, there we go. See, then it just does its own thing wherever it wants to. It's only this airplane, and I've reset the sim, so I don't know what's going on. Very frustrating, because if it stresses the aircraft and it breaks, we have to redo the leg, and it's not my fault. So Hardwick Island is there, and then we're going to go a little bit to the right down this channel more. And Discovery Passage it's called. Whoops. Please expand. There we go. So Hardwick Island is here, and then continue to follow the Johnstone Strait to Discovery Passage, the most important sea route from northern Vancouver Island and adjacent mainland British Columbia to the Salish Sea, which opens to the Pacific Ocean. Well, that's pretty cool. So we're going to go down this Discovery Passage for another 9 minutes or so. Very cool. Definitely not complaining about that. Looks pretty amazing. We're back to our mountainous shoreline, which is just ridiculously amazing. Just incredible. Incredible. Whoop. We're getting blown off course here a little bit. Let's get back to the purple line so that it completes the leg and gives us the next one, because if you get too far away, which you're not too far away, but if you get all crazy, it won't even complete the GPS leg, and then you gotta figure out how to get in there and change it. On to the next one. We have another big opening here. Looks like a river going down into the center of the island. A few rivers anyway. That's pretty cool. And there's Hardwick Island, which is like 3 hills on it. That's pretty cool. Some roads. Obviously you have to ferry around everywhere, but once you're there you can drive around. And there's our big valley with the rivers in it. And we're nosing up again. I have my yoke is all the way forward, and there, oh my gosh, what the heck is going on? Anyway, once we get past the island, it'll tell us to turn to the right, which we're already doing, so we'll go straight. Very, very strange with this nose up situation. I don't understand how to get past it either. Anyway, there's Hardwick Island, and we'll go through Discovery Passage, which opens out to the sea. Another 9 minutes or so of that. And then we'll read about what's next when we get there. And completing the passing of Hardwick Island. As we wonder what the heck, now it's turning to the right all on its own. Oh my goodness. I don't understand what's going on with this airplane. There we go, back into the mountains near the center of the island, where we've already been. That's really cool. And more shoreline mountains as we go through Discovery Passage, even though the GPS wants us to be like up along this ridge line for some reason, but whatever. We'll get closer to it just so it keeps track of us, but I don't know why it's way over to that side, but whatever. So when are we going to catch up to the GPS line? Because we have a mountain in front of us. I know it's to the right, but I'm wondering where the line is. Like, I mean, they want us to go to the right, but I'm wondering where the line is. Probably right over the center from like here, like this. Probably, I'm guessing. Because it does stuff like that. So we're going to veer to the right anyway, and eventually we'll catch up to it as it touches the water, but I don't want to gain too much more altitude, although we did come down 1,000 feet during that crazy nose up, nose down thing, but I guess we can climb a little bit. It'll make this look more interesting if we're a little higher. And nose up, except that time it let go right away. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Anywho, we're getting away from this coast, although we'll be getting closer in a minute. And we're flying closer to this just to catch up to the GPS line a little more quickly. And we were... Okay, now it's nose up. Okay, now my yoke is all the way forward. Come on. Let go. Thank you. That time I reacted fast enough. I mean, I did want to climb a little bit, but not like that. I don't understand what's going on with this thing. But anyway, while we're here, let's enjoy the view where the water goes out that way. That's a pretty good sized hill, mountain. Let's go over 3,500 feet, maybe 3,000 feet. Because we're at 2,000 now, and these are another 1,000 above us probably. Anyway, Johnstone Strait, Discovery Passage, heading towards the ocean. At least I think that's what it said. Another big old valley. And we finally got up to 2,000 feet, or 2,100, I think. 2,100 feet. Yeah, whoop, don't descend now. Man, oh man, this thing does whatever it wants. I know if you just let your airplane go and it's not trimmed, it'll do whatever it wants, but this is like really doing whatever it wants. Look at that. That's awesome. Those mountains are beautiful, but the GPS now wants us to go right over them. So we're not going to. We're going to stay over the water. And then we'll cross the GPS path in a moment. I'll just go to the other side and we'll stay close to it, but I'm not going over those mountains. Because I don't want to. I want to stay over the water. It's beautiful to see. Look at that big old hill back there. And then the mountains in the middle, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. They're coming into view again where we started the whole bush trip. Whoops, better. Be careful, we're doing what the GPS wants. But we don't want to run into anything either. Don't want to knock the birds out of the trees. We'll be flying around the mountain when we fly. We'll be flying into the mountain when we fly. Still getting pretty close to it though, but that's okay. I feel like we're getting blown with a crosswind here. We probably are. Oh man, look at that. Nice little park on top. Have a romantic picnic. Is there a house there? There are houses there. I wonder if they're supposed to be or if AutoGen just put them there. Alrighty, let's get away from this. It was fun, but let's get away from it here. 3 minutes out down this Discovery Passage and we'll read about the next greatest thing. But we have to keep enjoying this passage first. It's going to open up a little bit here. And nose up. Come on, stop. Stop the nose up thing. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? I assume in a minute and a half it'll tell us to turn to the right. So let's read about that. So we just went through Discovery Passage. It opens up to the ocean over there. Mount Seymour, only 4.5 minutes away. Fly along the eastern edge of Discovery Passage and pass over Quadra Island at Canish Bay. Sight the forested high point of the island, Mount Seymour, which rises 2,001 feet above sea level. Well, we're at 2,000 now, so if it puts us over, we'll have to climb a little bit. Otherwise, we can stay here and go around it. And that is 4.5 minutes out. And then after that, look at Campbell River, sight the city of Campbell River, which lies east coast of Vancouver Island. Pass back over Discovery Passage to reach the city, then continue due south of it to Campbell River Airport, which shouldn't be too difficult to spot. A plain area among a forest with a paved runway that's incredibly long. So there you go. So Mount Seymour and then our airport, which due south of the city. Okay, cool. So let's see, it should turn us any second now, because it's at 100 and some degrees, like 137 degrees, 135. So it's going to turn us to the right, and then we'll look for Mount Seymour. We'll climb and pass over it if we have to, otherwise we'll just go around it. And we're going to head back that way. You can see how it opens up to the ocean right there. And look to land pretty soon. Not that we're in any great hurry, because this is one of the more enjoyable bush trips. Again, it's up there with one of my favorites. It's not my absolute favorite, but it's... Whoa! Nose went up. Oh boy. Without me touching anything. It is one of my favorites, though. For sure. Alrighty, so we've got 4.5 minutes to Mount Seymour, which is probably this big old thing right here, right? So we won't go over it, we'll go next to it, and then it's 160 degrees, which is down this way. So we'll just go up to it and keep going along here. Are those two airports up there that are like glitching out and giving us lights this far away? Could be. Anyway, so we'll go alongside of it and then look for the airport, which is 6 minutes later. Whoops, too many buttons. 6:18 later. So it should show up down here pretty soon. Alrighty, Seymour Mountain, Mount Seymour, here we come. We're coming for you. Our fun shoreline is getting lower in elevation, but we enjoyed it while we could. And then we can see the tallest mountains there where we started. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's our airport, to be honest. I'm pretty sure it is, because looking at here, it's right straight ahead, yeah. So, kind of funny that we can see it from this far away. And let's not go down, please. Don't lower yourself. You want to keep your altitude till we get much closer to the airport. Good grief. A lot of lovely little islands. Mount Seymour, right here. Roads going around it. This is exactly like Minecraft in a swamp, trying to navigate a Minecraft swamp. Sometimes you can get through, sometimes you gotta dig your way through. I'm wondering if this is going to go through. We'll look there in a second. I have to see where I'm going here. I still want to climb a little bit, but it keeps wanting to settle down no matter how I trim it. So I'm not sure what's going on here. This is a very unusual flying experience. But so be it. Whatever. Whatever. We're enjoying it nonetheless. And that river might go through. I don't think so. Probably have to dig your way through. And there's mainland Canada, the Canadian Rockies far, far in the distance. And mountain in front of us, don't hit it. Now it wants to climb. It didn't even do anything. I guess it's the updraft from the mountain. The lights look a little more realistic of this view, but they're still kind of wonky. Just beautiful. Definitely 10 out of 10 scenery quality for this type of terrain. The urban stuff looks good too. The cities look pretty good. Anyway, there's your Mount Seymour. I guess you can see more when you're up that high. Ha 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 ha. Some rocky. Ooh, look at the rocks. That is really good rendering. Holy cow. That is really fabulous rendering. Look at that. I am impressed. Wowzers. Look at all this. That is fabulous. Definitely 10 out of 10 quality. Where's the GPS putting us? I guess it wants us to go this way for a little bit more. Then it'll turn us towards our airport. We're still losing altitude because of the drafts, but let's aim towards the airport, I guess. I don't know which one it is. There's two of them there. And can't quite tell yet. Oh, there it is finally. Okay, so it's the one on the left, which is what I assumed, right? We're going to Bravo Lima? Bravo Lima, yeah. So we'll fly towards that one. And then, now it's telling us to turn. And then we'll land. And we'll figure out runway orientation as we get closer. But we gotta stop descending because we really need the altitude to see where we're going. Doesn't this look like a giant's golf course? With like enormous sand traps as big as a city. Mountains off in the distance. Look at this rendering here. This is absolutely wonderful. Wow. Impressed. Now it's letting us climb. Man, trying to control this airplane is so weird. That's okay though. Alright, where's the airport? Let's head this direction, this heading, and stay there till we line up with the runway. So let's come over here and hit heading bug, wherever it is. Can I hit it? No, it won't let me hit it. I just want to keep this heading without the GPS telling me anything. Yeah, see, I lost it. So that's too busy looking for something. Let's keep this heading here. And then we'll figure out the runway orientation. Maybe that's just two different runways. Something is weird with these lights. Maybe that's the light. Yeah, maybe both sides have lights. It's just the angle we were at looks so weird. Okay, so we'll line up for that one. So we'll hold this heading then and slow down in a little bit. Let's keep this altitude though. And get geared down a little bit too early for both those things, but we'll get there. No hurry. Look at the town. I think it wants us to go over the town. But then it puts us perpendicular to the airport, so we'll just look at the town from here. In fact, let's hop outside, use circle cam. Enjoy what we can from here. Looking back to mainland Canada. There's our island on Mount Seymour. And the mountains in the middle. Look at that. Middle of Vancouver Island. More over here. Boom, boom. Just perfect. I love this river we're about to cross. Opens up over there. It goes all the way through to the water, and there's the ocean right there. Some more mountains over there. Alright, how are we doing? Time to focus here. I guess we can cut in a little bit. We don't need a final quite this long. And then we'll be able to keep the airport within our view too. Let's stop descending, please. I did not get the elevation of this runway, but that's fine. That's fine. Less climbs. I'm giving more throttle so I can start climbing again. Nose up to slow down though, because we're getting kind of fast. There we go. Now we can see the airport. Final look outside. Mountains in the background. The other side of the island was much more attractive, but the approach getting here was the best part so far. So we'll see what's in store for the final 2 legs. Of course, that will be the next video, so like and subscribe so you can see the final 2 legs at once. But first, let's land this airplane on this leg. Ooh, what's below us down there? That's cool. A little bit of a city type thing. Maybe some kind of mining or something, or logging, perhaps. There's a highway there too. With some cars driving on it. Alright, there's an airport. Very, very easy to spot. And this is how these things look in real life. I remember when I landed in Cleveland in real life for work. It was exactly the same. Like, if I took a video of it next to the sim without like seeing the cartoonish of the aircraft in the sim, you would not be able to tell the difference. This is what it looks like for these approaches. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's start slowing down so we'll nose up, but then bring throttles back so we don't climb. And the runway is incredibly long, so we do not need to hit the tippity tip. Just after the trees, we'll be fine. We're actually quite a ways away. It says here we're 2 minutes because it wants us to go somewhere else, but we will land, make sure we're at the right place. Bravo Lima, Bravo Lima. We haven't had a bush trip in a while where we couldn't tell the airport. There's one we did that had 5 airports, like a cluster, and we had to land at all 5 until we found it. And then when we did find it, it wasn't even like, didn't even look like an airport. It was super strange, but it was very helpful to people. That video got a ton of views, and a lot of people told me it helped them complete the trip because they couldn't figure out which one it was. So that's nice to know. It says we're a little high. We'll come down in a second here. Just want to look outside one more time, looking at the mountains in the middle with the planes in front. Oh, that road. You see that road that just went under the wing? That was really cool. There it is there. I should probably look at the airport instead of looking for a road. All right, here we go. Gear down. And we're coming in really hot because I was so busy looking around, but we will be plenty fine, I think. Yeah. We'll get flaps out just by these trees. I'm going to come down steeply, then level off to bleed off some speed. That's why I'm doing it like this. So we're a little bit below glide slope where we're going to be. Although this stays fine on the Pappy. First set of flaps. Float a little bit. There we go. Do not use flaps as brakes, but they do work as brakes. And it is really windy above these trees. Full flap, although we do need a little bit more throttle so we don't land short. Whoa. Coming in nice and easy. There's the beacon. I was wondering what that was. Whoa, that was a weird float. Okay, come back down now. And aim for the numbers. Throttle is all the way back because we're high. Ready to go on the brakes, although we got plenty of space. Aim for the numbers. Try to get in the middle here. And then round out ever so slightly. And there's ground effect, and just float your way down as long as it takes. It doesn't matter. There we go. Nose go down gently. Brakes to stop the airplane, and flaps coming in. Not that we had to stop that quickly, but we could, so why not? And there we go, 53 minutes. Alright, 2 legs left, so like and subscribe so you know when that video drops with the final 2 legs, and I'll see you then.